Uzumaki is a must-read for any fan of anime or manga, and it's perfect here at Halloween because it's so short, only 3 volumes long, and contains some of the creepiest imagery that you could ever imagine. Uzumaki is based in a small Japanese town where some believe that it has become possessed by a spiral. As you read the series, you'll find that this curse is real, and it's spreading throughout the town, from Volume 1, where the curses are more subtle, to Volume 2, where they become a bit more dramatic and pronounced, in Volume 3, where it's all-out pandemonium. The way the story is set up in the beginning is that each chapter follows a different possession, and some of these possessions can be quite random, while some of the others can actually prey on people's obsessions. It may not sound too creepy just talking about these evil spirals possessing people, but when you see a grown man become obsessed with these spirals to the point where he twists his body into a spiral, into this tight spiral, shoving himself down into this barrel, or a woman who digs out her inner ear because there's actually that spiral-shaped organ inside, then it's actually really creepy. And those 2 cases were just 2 of the instances from the first half of the first volume, and it gets much worse from there. I don't want to give away too much from the story, but just to briefly talk about one of my favorite chapters from this story is when one of the fathers of the characters is into pottery, and then he starts using the clay found from a burial site, and also I think ashes of people as well, and he starts turning that into pottery and vases and things. You can actually see that it starts forming these naturally occurring spirals in the pattern of the clay, and also these screaming faces, and it's so weird just looking at it. Or when you look inside of the kiln, when he's baking these faces, you can see spirits coming out of the clay itself and just screaming faces going across. It's so weird. So briefly speaking about the plot and the characters, there's actually a bit of depth behind all of this grotesque imagery here, because there is a little bit of character development, and the plot does evolve. As you're reading the story, it's almost episodic at first, where all of the chapters speak about individual instances which don't really connect until later on, and as you're reading the series, you're starting to piece together and learn more about the story itself, and then when you get to the end, there's just this overwhelming reveal at the end where it just pulls it all together and gives you this grand picture. And I really like the fact that they gave you the depth of having these characters and interaction with each other, with a little bit of development and actually this overlying plot which ties it all together, and I really appreciated that. Uzumaki was written by Junji Ito, who is a master of creating these horror manga series, and just to compare this to one of his other works, Gyo, I felt that the story actually unfolded a lot more naturally, and it was more consistent writing than Gyo in my opinion. Comparing the horror themes used with Gyo and Uzumaki, with Gyo, he used a lot of things that we're already afraid of, so it was pretty easy to do there, such as sharks or these creepy underwater bugs, compared to Uzumaki, where it kind of plays on your psyche and uses some everyday things. The artwork in Uzumaki is so dark and so beautiful. I love the amount of detail that's put into every panel. You can turn the page and find a panel that is so grotesque that you can't look away, and you're actually rewarded for that just because each panel just has so much detail put into it, and I feel that the artwork is mostly consistent throughout the entire series. Overall, I'd give Uzumaki a 9 out of 10. It really went where I wasn't expecting, delivering something horrifically refreshing with every chapter, and also there's a lot of bonuses here. You get bonus chapters, and you also get some color pages as well, making this something that's great for collectors. If you plan on picking this up, there are actually 2 different versions. One is the 3 different individual paperback volumes that I have here, and there's also a hardcover copy as well, which is one omnibus where it's all together. I handled the omnibus a few times in stores, and it's really nice. I would recommend that because it's hardcover, it's got nice cover art, it's also got great binding to it as well, plus all of the bonuses and the color pages as well. So if you're interested in some of Junji Ito's other works, such as Gyo, then you can check out my review of that in the description section below. I'll probably annotate it around here as well. And if you've read Uzumaki, then let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.